Unfortunately for Major League Baseball, this is the least of your embarrassments. Alex Cooper and the doofus duo behind her, who are doing their best to prove that white girls have no rhythm. Alex Cooper butchering the seventh inning stretch at legendary Wrigley Field. That is the least of your concerns. And look. It's not just Major League Baseball dealing with this problem. This same problem is affecting the NFL, the NBA, and it's a disease that each of these leagues injected themselves with. They have no one to blame but themselves. There is an old adage that America can only be destroyed from within. Because we're a superpower, because we're so strong economically, militarily, the only way to destroy America is from within. You can make the same case for the major sports leagues. The big three, the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball. These are powerful organizations. Each league has decades of tradition. Generations of families have grown up with their favorite teams. Fans have deep-rooted emotional ties to these franchises. Take me, for example. From the time I was a child, from the time I can remember, I have been a die-hard fan of the New Orleans Saints. In my adult life, there have been two instances I can think of where I have cried. I cried when my dog Chloe snuck out of the backyard and was hit by a car. I actually cried on and off for days when that happened. And I might have shed a tear or two when the Saints won the Super Bowl. Trust me, I was not the only one. The point is, we have deep emotional ties to our teams. There is almost nothing that can break the bond that I have with the Saints. I complain about the organization. I complain about Gail Benson, Mickey Loomis. I make threats. I'm never watching this team again. Then the next week, I'm sitting in my recliner at noon watching the Saints. But there is one thing that could break the emotional bond that I have with the Saints. If I ever have to question the legitimacy, if I ever have to question the integrity of the NFL, and when I say integrity, I'm talking about the product on the field. If I ever have to question if what I'm watching is real or whether or not games are being fixed, there is no need for me to waste my time watching. If games are being fixed, why in the hell would I watch it? If I want to watch simulated combat, I would join the other booger pickers and watch WWE. Unfortunately, I think we are rapidly reaching the point where the integrity of professional sports is being damaged. And for some reason, not only are the leagues not doing a damn thing about it, they're embracing it. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the main channels in the description below. Gambling has become a major problem in professional sports. When I started gambling at 16 back in 2001, sports betting was taboo, and it was also difficult. For starters, you not only had to know a bookie, you also had to have his trust. He had to trust you enough to give you credit. Back then, there were essentially two options to bet on games. You could bet the point spread or the over-under. That was it. Now, eventually, offshore books came along and made placing bets easier, but even then, the options were somewhat limited. Plus, you had to worry about the offshore books actually paying you. For decades, it was extremely rare to see professional athletes being busted placing bets on games, much less betting on themselves. Today, it's common. It has become so common, we've become so desensitized to it, it's no longer even major news. For decades, one of the biggest stories in Major League Baseball was Pete Rose being banned for life for betting on his team. 2 months into the season last year, there were 5 players in Major League Baseball suspended for gambling. 4 were suspended for a year. 1 player was suspended indefinitely. This is a major problem. Right now, Major League Baseball is investigating a starting pitcher for betting on the first pitch of the game. He allegedly placed a bet on whether he would throw a ball or a strike. We've got NBA players betting on themselves. We've got NFL players betting on the outcome of games. And these are only the players that were caught. These are only the players that we know about. Imagine how many players are gambling and we don't know about it. What are the leagues doing about this problem? Not a damn thing. They're actually embracing the disease of gambling. You can't watch a game without being bombarded with gambling ads. During the game, the networks are providing live updates on the lines. The leagues are making billions and billions of dollars off the 40 or so percent of the fan base that bets on the games. And out of that 40%, I would imagine 5, maybe 10% are serious gamblers. Just think about that. Leagues are sacrificing their integrity for billions of dollars that are mostly coming from 5-10% of the fan base. Is it worth it? To me, it's damn sure not worth it. There's a potentially hidden cost here that hasn't really surfaced yet. What happens if people start assuming that games are being fixed? Well, Casey, most of these players are placing prop bets. They're betting on themselves. They're not affecting the outcome of the game. How is it not affecting the outcome? You mean to tell me if Malik Beasley is betting on himself to score less than 15 points, that doesn't potentially affect the outcome of the game? Whether it does or it doesn't is really irrelevant. As is often the case, the only thing that matters is the perception. With this happening with more and more regularity, what happens if people start believing that the games are fixed? Why would you spend thousands of dollars on season tickets to watch a fixed event? Why would you waste your time watching on TV if you perceive that what you're watching isn't real? What happens if wins and losses in the standings become less important than the wins and losses at the sports book? Well, KC, what if they start regulating it better? What if they get rid of prop bets? How? How can you regulate it better? How can you get rid of prop bets? The NFL has no power over these offshore books. Gambling is already heavily regulated and players are still doing it. I don't know if there's a solution to the problem. The solution to the problem was to not embrace gambling to begin with. Unfortunately, that's already happened, and I don't think that you can go back. Leagues have chosen their path. Their only choice now is to walk that path. Question going forward, are they walking the path of self-destruction? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the main channel.